Okay, let's get on with it. I just a moment ago was watching an interview between what is it? Well, between a television journalist, MSNBC or something like that, and Ms. Val Demings, a congresswoman from Florida, who intends to run for the Senate against Marco Rubio. That'll be an interesting race. Which would that transpire in 2022? Maybe. I do know what race is going to transpire in 2022 in the state of Washington. That'll be for a position of a congressperson in eastern Washington state. And right now, a woman named Cathy McMorris-Rogers, who was a rather ranking Republican back when, what's his name, was Speaker of the House? John Boehner. Cathy McMorris-Rogers was always standing in the background every time John Boehner was, making statements and so on. She was there with a couple of others, and so decidedly she has rank among the Republicans. And she's been there a long time. She's been in there 5 terms. That's 10 bleeding years. And now she's going up for a 6th term or 5th, whatever. So she's, she's going up for her 10th year or her 12th year, whatever it is. But in 2022, I would like to run against this woman as a Democrat. Now, I'm in Spokane. I'm a Spokane resident. And I haven't had nothing to do with the Spokane Democrats except to attend one of their meetings. That's it. And so none of these Spokane Democrats even know who I am. Well, I'll tell you who I am. First of all, I was born in Moscow, Idaho, at a hospital there, and then, which is 8 miles away from Pullman. And that's because my mother's gynecologist and obstetrician practiced in Moscow, Idaho. Well, once I was born, of course, everything was hunky-dory. They took me home, this little squalling infant, in 1952, August. And I lived in Pullman until I was, 20, I think, 21. No, 20. And I was having difficulties. I dropped out of college. I didn't have a job. My mother was profoundly worried for me and my future. And she had just gotten remarried after practically 13 years of being single to a man who's as different from my own father as a guy could be. My father was an academic, taught organic chemistry at Washington State, and my stepfather's an appliance repairman, working man, who enlisted to fight in World War II when he's 30 years old. And he had the misfortune being a mechanic on a bomber plane, B-52 bomber, I guess, flying over Germany, dropping bombs on Germany. And their plane was shot down. He was parachuted to land, and subsequently all of them who survived were taken prisoner. And he spent out the rest of the war in a prison camp. on a starvation diet, by the way. And the thing he always looked forward to is Red Cross packages, he told me. And he took up the habit of drinking tea when he was in confinement there in Germany. And I never saw him drink coffee ever. He always drank tea. His parents were from Norway. He lived to be about 95. And he began to lose his hearing when he was 85 or so. My mother was roughly 10 years younger than he was. And she she had a difficult time because he was going deaf and he didn't like to wear hearing aids, although he did. Objection. And she was unhappy at their retirement home in Squim, which is a tiny little burg outside of Port Angeles, Washington. And then she decided that she wanted to be near her daughter, my older sister. I only have one. She's 8 years older than me, half-sister. Her father died in World War II. Anyway, she moved to Portland, taking her husband, my stepfather, with her, and she moved into this posh retirement community, which is where they both died. And leaving me to be an orphan. Sad to say. We are all orphans eventually now, aren't we? Unless our parents outlive us, which in some cases happen. All right, let's get back to the political deal. Yes, I would like to run against Cathy McMorris-Rogers in 2022. I would like to contend with her on the public stage and discuss the issues which affect Washingtonians on the east side of the Cascade Mountains. I would also like to discuss issues which affect people on the west side of the Cascade Mountains. In fact, everywhere in the state of Washington and everywhere in the goddamn bloody nation. Those are the more important